hot about roller skating.
Good, yes.
I feel hot about roller skating. You're not wearing the sparkles.
Hi, I'm Mindy, and this is Gills on Wheels, talk show about roller skating.
Bootyvicious, also known as Erin, pronouns she, her, is a roller derby player with Ottawa Roller Derby's travel team, the Bytown Blackhearts. She also serves on the board as Director of Logistics. Bootyvicious dabbles in other types of roller skating such as park skating and dance skating.
Erin, how did you get into roller skating?
Coming out of the pandemic, like so many people, a lot of people took up roller skating during the pandemic, but I had two kids at home, two little kids that I felt like needed a lot of my energy and attention. So coming out of the pandemic, 2022, when I bought my first pair of roller skates for my birthday, then found a crash course to join. So I skate with Ottawa Roller Derby because they had like 2 spaces available in the crash course that started maybe like a week after I got my roller skates delivered. So it was serendipitous.
And what position do you play roller derby?
I seem to mostly play jammer.
And you've described yourself to me before as a jock. Can you?
Can I elaborate?
Yeah.
I love art. I love creativity. I love being around it. I love being like immersed in it and a part of it. But like I take up hobbies and like crafting willy-nilly, and I imagine great things for myself when I do this. And so the realization hit me, I mean, not even that long ago, when I went to make my son a piñata for his birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, got a couple tutorials, a couple like whatever wiki hows on how to make a piñata. And it was going to be a Death Star. So I paper mache'd the balloon. It's a little wonky. And it only got wonkier. That was the moment when it occurred to me that I'm a jock. I can pick up roller skating without thinking about it and do what I attempted to do with the Death Star. So yeah, physical activity I think is a little bit more it for me.
And you're pretty sparkly today.
I'm so sparkly because we are going after this to the Ottawa Quad Sessions skate night. It's gonna be awesome. And it's sparkle themed.
So I remember we had a conversation once because I find you very stylish. You have this very unique to you style that is so fun and so bright and so colorful, but looks so good. And you were telling me that you weren't always that way.
Yeah, I went through a lot of years of not being those things. I always sort of did my own thing, but it was a lot of like jeans and t-shirts and blending in, I think, a little bit. And it wasn't until really like roller skating, I think, that I started to explore like my sparkly self. Okay, but one thing, and this is one thing that's really awesome about roller skating, is themes. Okay, I love a theme. Okay, give me a theme and I am going to do it. I love direction, and yeah. So sometimes my ideas don't always come across like art, but it feels good. Like, 'cause I do what feels good, and I think that I've become more confident.
I think you're selling yourself short again on the art because you made your Ursula costume, right?
I did, but like
that was fantastic.
Ursula, it was like understated fantastic. I wanted it to be so big, and I'm happy with how it turned out, but like could have been bigger.
It was low-key fire. I just gotta it was fire.
I did like 3 Halloween costumes this year, okay? So I did Medusa for Halloween derby practice, and that was so fun because I got to make myself scales, which I just want to like live with forever.
You're also a witch for the witchy skate.
And I was also a witch for the witchy skate. Oh man, that was so many costumes. I love it. And then we went to Delson. I wore my like retro disco jumpsuit. When would I ever get, without roller skating, I would not get to wear all of these crazy fun things. I mean, arguably people should and could wear these things, and some people do, but I find it very liberating to be able to do that while roller skating. And I do bring it over into other parts of my life. Like at work, I'm a more exciting dresser than I used to be. Like black dress pants, blouse, that was it. Very bland. And now, yeah.
Is it more than just fashion? Do you feel like it's confidence too?
Absolutely, 100%. I feel good. Roller skating really made me feel good about myself. Some sports, roller skating, it's a sport. It's an athletic thing, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
Right? It's being surrounded by all these different people that all have, I don't know. And I never got that with soccer or ringette or hockey or any of the other sports that I played. Something about roller skating I find really like community, and something about that community just gives me the confidence to be more myself.
There is something very unique about the roller skating community. Like, I feel like people are so supportive
Yeah.
and welcoming and encouraging, and yeah, you feel safer to be like,
Yeah,
to express yourself.
absolutely. Safer is a really great way of saying it. For me, it goes beyond even skating. It infiltrated like all parts of my being, that sense of safe. I'm this weird suburban mom. I went to a soccer, I have this hat that says thick thighs, thin patience.
Yeah.
And I would not have ever worn that. I always owned who I am, but there's something about putting it out there. Anyways, there was this dad, and he's like, is that a saying? Like, should I know that? And I was like, you're fine. Like, don't worry about it.
Don't think too hard about it.
Don't think too hard about it. Don't look at me too hard. Like, this has just gotten awkward. I wish you had noticed or like told me you noticed, but it's fine. It's all fine. I can own it.
That's a segue to your derby name.
Yes.
Bootyvicious.
My derby name is Bootyvicious. I had joined Ottawa Roller Derby for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I had not come up with a name. And I hadn't played a game, but it was coming. And like I knew it was coming, and like had a list that was like as long as my arm and my phone of names that I just kept spitting out. And I'd ask friends and family, and they weren't that helpful. And I don't know how Bootyvicious.
I remember the
came
poll
out.
because I voted for Bootyvicious.
Totally. Most people voted for Bootyvicious. I don't even remember what the other. Oh, I wish I could now, but Bootyvicious was like the overwhelming. Yeah.
And I feel like you've embraced Bootyvicious.
Yes. I totally have, because now I wear things to accent my booty when I play derby and skate around.
Like the skeleton hands.
That's my trademark. I actually bought a second pair of those shorts. There's these skeleton shorts that have these heart on the butt. And my kids are a little bit mortified, but that's okay. My daughter in particular, who's old enough to be like, oh, Mom. I was like, yep. They also hold up Bootyvicious signs. That's something.
They probably brag about you to all their friends. Like, I have the coolest mom ever.
Oh my god.
What do your kids think about the roller derby thing?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think they, like most people in my life, don't differentiate roller derby from other kinds of roller skating or rollerblading, as it were, because I get all kinds of different comments. So, oh, Aaron's going to roller derby. Like, I'm not going to roller derby like this. Like, this is a lot for roller derby, guys. Like, no. But yeah, no, I think they think it's fun. When we play here, they come to my games, and yeah, they cheer me on. They like the atmosphere. My daughters come with me to some games. She's older. She comes and is patient-ish with sitting around watching it. She likes being around the people, I think, more than anything. And it's a little bit like that community feeling. I think she'll probably start playing next year if she's still interested. This year she would have been, I think, but I thought she needed another year. So little, right?
So I don't know if you're the same, but I found like as soon as I hit adulthood, trying to make friends outside of work was really, really hard. I personally found that derby has connected me with people that I probably would have never come across in other areas of my life, and some really good, deep friendships that I would never expected, and that's been really special.
Oh my gosh, yes, completely. I think that goes a little bit to the community thing, I think, that we were talking about earlier. Well, it's near impossible, I think. Like when you're an adult, I don't know, especially for me or for people in my situation with little kids, I kind of put everything into like the parenting thing. And then there was not a lot of time. I didn't have any other hobbies. I didn't find I had a lot of spare time. I still don't find I have a lot of spare time, as much time as I would like to spend with my derby friends or the people I've met there. There's something about talking, or like the conversations that end up in with those people. They are deep. They're deep and meaningful, and it's not fluffy. I can tell my teammates or my league mates, certain of them anyway, that I'm not feeling good. I've had a shitty day. Things are not going well. And I can tell when that things are not going well for them either. And you're just there supporting each other in a way that I think is really special.
It is.
Yeah. And I can come across as like extroverted. And I think I am to a degree, but I'm shy at first, or I'm awkward, or I'm whatever. Like a lot of people, I find it especially hard to branch out or to start hanging out with someone and doing things. You invited people out to go park skating. Like I would never have park skated. I mean, I had park skated in the sense that I had gone down a ramp or two with my kid when she had her skateboard or something. But I'm very intimidated by the skate park. And I think that a lot of us are older adults trying to like get into this kind of activity, and there's kids zooming around all over the place and a lot of dudes. So it's intimidating. But then when we're all together and we're like taking over a park and we're dressed as old ladies or we're dressed as like whatever. What was the Easter skate? I know I wore a neon tutu, but it was the Easter morning or something. Anyway, I mean, we go at times that makes sense as well. There's something confidence boosting about that too.
Yes, I feel much more confident going to the park with a group of friends than I would going by myself and trying
Yeah.
to contend with and everything that's going on. The community is so supportive and everybody's so nice. And
Oh
they
yeah.
just meet you where you are.
Yeah.
Too, which you're not expected to do any crazy trick. Just
No,
whatever you're ready for. And
that's
if you're like,
right.
I'm really in my head today, I can't do X, Y, Z,
Then you don't do it,
yeah,
and
and people are okay
that's
with that.
okay. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
don't feel bad, or no one's making you feel guilty or pushing you or pressuring you. They're supporting you, not pressuring. That's what I find is really cool.
Yeah. Are there any specific things that you like to do in the park?
You know what I love about park skating is like it's a very exhilarating, and it's also what I like about jamming. Actually, it's the speed of going around the track, and it's the speed at which you go down the ramps. It's getting that little bit of air. Like I don't really need to do much more than that to get a full park experience. That feeling of your stomach dropping out from underneath you as you go down. That's yeah, for sure what I like. And then the dancing. I love dancing. I just like to dance. I never did it other than for fun. And so roller skating, like you'd see people roller skating, they look so cool. Roller dancing, it's a lot of work. That's a lot to think about at the same time. That one's a little bit harder to pick up because there's a more art to it, right? You got to a little bit forget about your body, and that's not what I'm good at.
That's fair.
Yeah. And derby's the same too. It's all about supporting and not pressuring. I find that environment in general is just trying to get you to be your best self and not the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about the physical side of derby?
I think it's great. Whenever I advertise it to people outside of the community, I'm like, make friends and hit them. Like, because it's great, and it's a connection in some ways too with others. Maybe that's partly why we are so like in tune with each other or something, is because of that physicality.
Well, we're all up in each other's business, so I feel like you have to
Totally.
have some degree of comfort with people to be
Yeah.
that close to them
Yeah.
physically. So
Yeah.
I think it does help pave the way for emotional bonding as well.
I think so, yeah. Knowing when they're off or you're off or whatever, I think you can intuit that because you are so close with them. And I like it. There's a lot of days you don't want to go. You're like, I don't want to leave my house. Like, I'm comfortable here. I'm tired. It's dark. The weather's shitty. Like, whatever. I don't think I have ever regretted going to practice, or I have not ever regretted going skating. Like, even, when we had the yard, which is so sad that it's gone, but when we had that indoor space, we often went late, and it was like, oh, going out late, leaving my house at this time. Well, a lot of people I know did not understand, and I was like, no, trust me, like, this is good. I need to do this. Yes, I'm complaining, but once I get there, and I have never ever regretted going skating ever.
Same. And earlier you mentioned being a mom, especially with young kids, and dedicating so much of your life to that. So can you speak to using skating and derby as a form of self-care?
Oh my
Like
God,
carving that
yeah.
space out for yourself?
Absolutely. So I joined Derby, what is almost 3 years ago. So my son, my youngest, is now 5. So he would have been 2.5. And we were just coming off of obviously the very intense pandemic. And yeah, I needed to get out of my house. I needed to get away from my family to do something. I was still working at home primarily, I think, at that point, but things were starting to open up again. So yeah, I didn't know if I could make it work at first. It was a big commitment. I remember I did crash course, and then I didn't do anything in the summer. And then I came back in September and haven't left since. I haven't really taken a break other than, well, this month I've been sick all month. But other than that, I haven't really, taken any kind of time off. And I am a better mother. I'm a better person for having that time to myself to do stuff and to have something else to focus on, and something that just kind of for me to get better at. And I think it's good for them to see that too, as much as they sometimes are just as bad, be like, Ma, don't go, we want you, we have big feelings today, to be like, you are okay, you can have those feelings, and I'm gonna go and have my feelings. So no, it's great. And I mean, and so this year I'm now on the board of directors for ORD. So I've kind of in some ways doubled down on my commitment to the time that I'm going to be spending doing that. And that was a discussion at home. I'll have to be taking calls on the weekend, or I'll have to be doing extra things. It's going to take more time. And they're 5 and 9, and that's good. They're doing their own things, and we're making it work. But I definitely need it.
I think, like you said, it is so healthy for them to see you taking care of yourself and having interests outside of the home.
Yeah.
And as far as serving on the board, you're director of logistics. So I imagine finding space, right, is really tough.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky because the former director of logistics had pretty much set up the next season. So my challenges will come in the spring, I think. I'm lucky that I've gotten the legacy of Patty, who has taken care of doing that. So we're all set until April, but we've already planned the next year. So, assuming that the spaces come up that we need when we need them, we should be good. It's interesting seeing the other side and hearing the concerns of the league members and sort of dealing with that part of it. It's different for sure than being a league member, a little bit more intense. And you have to think about, it's not just about my experience, about other people's experiences, that you have to really take that into consideration when you're making decisions, and also the health of the league itself.
Yeah, I have a lot of admiration for people who volunteer to serve on the board and coaches, because that is a lot of emotional labor. Not just labor, but emotional labor as well. It's pretty intense, and it's all unpaid. It's a good reminder that it's a lot of work. So be kind to your board members.
Be kind to your board members.
Yeah,
especially, and your coaches too. Yeah, and exactly, it's unpaid. We're not necessarily trained, really. We're kind of doing what we think is best while thinking about all of those things. So it's it's definitely a unique challenge, and to make sure that we can keep going, right, year after year.
What inspired you to take it on?
So it was really important for me that roller derby be something that I could get away to reliably. And I planned a lot of my living and my family life, all of my life around what's going on with derby. So it takes up a big chunk. So I wanted to contribute. Yeah, I thought that I could do it. I thought with my experience that I've had, the way my brain works, that I had something to contribute. And I thought that, 3 years into the league now, I play on the Blackhearts, or I did last year. I think I get to do this year again. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we'll find out. I want to contribute to the health of the league and the health of my passion, of something that's really important to me.
Since joining derby, so you did mention a little bit about feeling more confident and the self-care aspect. Do you feel like you've changed in any other ways since you've started roller skating and roller derby? Outside of roller skating?
It's mostly revolves around confidence. I think it's a little bit about coming into my own. There's the piece about your teammates and like tuning into their feelings and that kind of thing, right? So something about that has made me turn inwards a little bit too, more than maybe I had been doing, and become a little bit more introspective. So that maybe I'm trying to take a little bit better care of my own mental health.
Showing up for others has helped you show up for yourself?
I think that's that's a good way to articulate it. Yeah, and it helps me show up for others outside of derby and outside of that community, like people who aren't involved at all. Because I have people reaching out to me, I recognize how much I need that too. And that's made a big difference, I think. But it's also given me confidence. There's a lot of stuff I don't put up with that I feel like I used to put up with at work, for example, without getting into details so I don't get fired. But like, I think that there's like
That's so real.
and it's not in what's the word?
It's helping you set boundaries?
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. No, but like there are behaviors that I don't accept that I think I used to accept a lot more, and from people who are maybe higher up than me, or people who, and it's not in a way that's disrespectful, but it's assertive. I am more assertive, or I'm coming into my power or something. Like there's a little bit of that. And that, 40 something woman, maybe you can recognize that there's a little bit of that comes with hitting a certain milestone or something. But I certainly think that this has helped me along. Roller skating, having this kind of passion, and yeah.
And I love how open people are in general, and roller derby especially, about mental health.
Yeah.
Like that has really made me feel more comfortable talking about mental health issues.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. And I think it's helped me recognize some behaviors maybe that are not the best, that are not healthy, or some things that I don't deal with, or how I deal with them, or
coping strategies.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's definitely been eye-opening, and I think that openness has been super awesome. Like I love it. Like I think it's so great. I think we should all talk about this, right? Like we should all, I don't know, to some extent get into our feelings.
I agree. So being in your 40s, I'm also in my 40s. Playing a sport.
PSA.
yeah, PSA. For our 40s.
Yeah.
Playing a sport in your 40s. Can you speak to how that's been going, and any special considerations that you didn't deal with when you were younger, I suppose, playing sports?
I mean, I don't know. It's been okay. I have not gotten injured. Like, let me knock on all of the wood and whatever. I feel like it's just gonna happen. Like, it's gonna happen. Everyone gets hurt. And I've been very fortunate to not have gotten hurt. The worst I had was like some weird imbalance in my back, and that's definitely an older person injury.
Get out of bed wrong.
Yeah, right. And I think it stemmed from stopping myself from falling one time. So sometimes you need to fall, people. That's a PSA. Like, just let yourself fall. Because I stopped myself from falling, and then I think I tweaked something, and then that set off a whole chain of events that required me to go to physio for some time, and my physiotherapist to laugh at my core, and I am putting that in quotations because let's be real.
I feel that.
Whatever. Core. Overrated.
So, do you have any advice? Let's say there's another mom out there who's watching this and thinking roller derby seems like so much fun. Do you have any advice for someone like
Oh my
that?
god, do it. Do it. Come out. Just come and try. And you're gonna suck. And that's okay. Because everyone does at first. And you will surprise yourself. I think, don't you surprise yourself on the daily? Like, I do surprise myself.
I
You
surprise
surprise.
myself with how much I suck.
No! Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry, I couldn't.
I know.
I couldn't let that one go.
But you're showing up. But
Yeah.
you're showing up, and you're showing up for you. And that's the thing that I think is so amazing and so surprising. And that's like, mine's like, I don't know. I'm like Miss Positivity over here. But like, just do it. Just show up and try it because you'll be amazed. It's worth it. It's worth the time. If you are in a position that allows you to do it once a week, even, I'm fortunate that I have a partner at home who will look after the kids and pull the weight while I'm not around. But you can make it work, and it's worth it. It's worth taking care of yourself.
So, as a parent, what can roller derby do to make it easier for mothers to get involved in roller derby?
Trying to think what would help me. If it was fine to have the kids running around the rink, if it was fine to have a space for them to be them without interfering and without impacting our insurance and all of these lovely things. God, my daughter would love it if she could practice with us in any kind of way. If she could just put her skates on, it would drive me nuts and it would be terrible. But, like that would be. But like, there's things like the timing. That's something else that I kind of thought about as director of logistics. If there's a way to make things as consistent as possible, that helps a lot. It helps to know, and it helps to know in advance when we have stuff going on so that we can plan. I need to know our schedule, like whatever, months in advance because I'm planning my life around it, like outs or practices or whatever. And I think that that's probably the case with a lot of people with little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or with kids, any kids, big, small, whatever. Because, yeah, you've got vacation, you've got, there are activities that you want to sign them up for, and you don't, I don't want to miss everything. Like, I don't want to be gone while they're doing stuff either. So, yeah, I think that sort of thing would be helpful.
No, that's really good to know.
Yeah. Sort of the challenges of being a parent and trying to do a thing that requires a lot of time, right? Like, it does.
It is a huge time commitment for sure.
It is, and it's kind of like it is the only thing like that I can do, and I'm sure you're probably the same. Like, there's not a lot of time for anything else. Like my fashion, like, and people are always like, "Oh, you're so always." So I'm like, this is all I do. I go to work and I do this. Whenever you see me out, like, I'm not really outside of this. So yes, I put effort in, and I like looking cute, and yeah.
I mean, it does tick a lot of boxes, right? It's the social, it's the creative,
Yeah.
it's the friends, it's
Yeah.
the sports.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I love it. I wish I could do more of it. I wish I could find other ways to incorporate it. So I gotta move. See if I move closer to like everything, then it like the time I need to do is like less.
Yeah, commuting is an
You
issue.
can yeah, you live out. You live out. You live a ways.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just need to convert my garage into like a derby arena.
Totally. That's something else. We were
Yeah.
talking earlier about like this, how the space in my house is divided and how I don't have a space for me.
Yeah.
And at one time I did have my basement, but then I gave it up. So we were talking recently about converting my garage into like a space that I could skate in. And so
Do it.
I know,
And
right?
like
Yeah.
Disco ball,
Yeah,
ramps,
obviously.
ramps,
Ramps, disco ball, like a
Yeah.
nice floor, and then a space where we could do like,
mirrors.
oh yeah, mirrors so you can see the dancing.
Mhm.
We need a face like that. I think that we would be better dancers if we had mirrors to watch ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, a wood floor, mirrors, like a big enough space,
Yeah.
well ventilated.
Yeah.
And for real, it was so hot in
It's
there.
so hot. Yeah.
An instructor would be nice.
The structure could be helpful. We do have the YouTube. We could always even have like a dude, like I don't know, like, you know, there's Diamond Walker or whatever.
Oh, like,
like
yeah,
we could
yeah,
have
come
like
in.
we could like or, like even just on
Hey,
the
shout out
screen,
Diamond Walker. Come to Ottawa.
Hey, come to Ottawa and instruct us in my not yet created garage studio. Or like Rock's World or
Rock's
whatever.
World. He's
Yeah.
come to Montreal.
He went to Montreal not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marley's in Montreal.
Marley's
There's a
in
few.
Montreal.
Yeah, there's a few in Montreal, but it's not.
We could get Addie to do it too. We just got
This is
Addie to
true.
start doing it more
Shout out
often.
Addie.
Shout out Addie. Come on
teach
out.
us. Come teach us in Aaron's garage.
Roller Addie. We'll help me build it.
I mean,
How much
I'll help
space
you.
do we need?
I'll roll up my sleeves.
I have a 1-car garage, y'all. I don't know.
Why? And I will skate park in there.
but can we plan a skate park and a studio? Maybe we just put the studio in there.
No, you do what I do. It's like you flip up the ramps when you're not using them. So like when it's a dance studio, it's a dance studio, and then you put down the ramps when it's a skate park.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good work.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that might be my summer project.
Sweet. Party at Aaron's.
I feel hot about roller skating.
Good, yeah.
I feel hot about roller skating. Like my kids love when I do finger guns. So I'm gonna do some finger guns.
Is it HAWT hot?
Yeah.
Love it.
Hot.
I'm gonna put some little flames on the.
I feel hot. I feel hot. I don't know. Maybe I don't need any explanation.
You can leave it there if you want. I love it. I love it. I feel hot. I feel like it'd be like, does she mean temperature? Or does she mean like
you'll never know.
No.
No. It's giving me confidence.
Perimenopause.
Yeah, perimenopause. That's what it is. It's totally perimenopause. What's partially? No, I feel like damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Hot.
Yes. Own it.
I'm owning it. I don't know. I don't really feel that, but I do. But I don't. I feel that about roller skating.
You need to. You should. You earned it. Yeah.
I earned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Own it. Love it. Finger guns.
Finger guns. That one's for Nate.
So cute. I think we're done. You killed it. Good job.